everyone, this is the Vortex Chicken and welcome back to Explosive Bunnies. So this is part 2 of a no-hit series, the first part of which was done with the ranged class and uploaded last week. So you should check that out if you haven't already. Not just so you can see it, but also so that you can see the gear I'm using. The only difference in accessories for the Mage loadout is that I've replaced the shark tooth necklace with a magnet flower. Now, King Slime, of course, is the easiest boss in the game, definitively, and it stood no chance. It only ended up taking one attempt, just like with Ranger. Now on to the Eye of Cthulhu. This boss is also very easy in normal mode, and the Diamond Staff is really good. It was especially good when I could line the shots up so that the Eye of Cthulhu's invincibility frames actually died down before the Diamond Staff bolt thingy was off of it, and therefore I was dealing twice the DPS. Anyway, this was super fast, almost as fast as it was with Ranger, and it only took one attempt. Now, the Eater of Worlds, this was a very weird fight, because I didn't get it lined up. This is the second attempt, by the way. I didn't get it lined up, the lighting was horrible, and so I was just sitting there, spamming Demon Scythe for way too long to relive. In retrospect, I should have just left the world and tried again to line it up, because if you saw the Ranger video, you'll see what happens when you line this boss up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just pop over to the Ranger no-hit video, and you'll see. It dies pretty much instantly. But instead, this took ages. This was definitely the longest boss fight of this video, and much longer than anything in the last one. So, I'm sorry for the terrible lighting, and if you want to just skip past it, I don't blame you. Now that that mistake is over, it's time for the Brain of Cthulhu. With Ranger, this boss only took one attempt, and as you can see, the Demon Scythe is shredding it. So, it probably should have only taken one attempt with Mage, but in the second phase, it gets a little more hectic, because the Demon Scythe's knockback is not very good, and I couldn't totally keep it at bay with that. So it actually ended up taking 7 attempts. Speaking of 7 attempts, here's Skeletron. Another boss that took 7 that should have only taken 1. My only excuse for this is that I was just tired. I am really embarrassed by the fact that I lost to Skeletron. Well, I didn't lose, I just got hit by Skeletron 6 times. It's a fight that I feel like I should be able to consistently no-hit. Anyway, I was also pretty angry because I was doing these fights alongside the grueling Queen Bee attempts. And I ended up actually taking down Skeletron before Queen Bee, just because it doesn't have any projectiles. I know the fight better, and it's simply a pushover in normal mode. Also, it's not fought in the underground jungle where 50 billion hornets are always spawning. Anyway, since this is normal mode, Skeletron without hands does not require any brain power whatsoever, and this thing just went down. With that, it's time to relive an awful memory. 27 attempts of Queen Bee. Granted, 24 of those attempts were done before Skeletron's defeat, so I was using the space gun, which, contrary to my belief before doing this, is not very good. Like, its DPS is not any better than that of the Diamond Staff. Uh, but with Waterbolt and Flamelash, this thing became very quickly doable. And I'm really thankful that I took a break to do Skeletron, even though it did for some reason take 7 tries. It's better than having Queen Bee take more than 27. Now with the Wall of Flesh, I actually got probably about as mad as I did with Queen Bee, because for Queen Bee you can summon it instantly. With Wall of Flesh, you have to wait for the guide, which involves building a bunch of houses and probably killing 3 dryads with lava. Anyway, I was using Bee Gun for the entire fight, which I really underestimated. It's actually really good for this fight. This took 7 attempts, which is actually a pleasant surprise. I was expecting it to take about 10. Granted, I did have to make my arena a little bit bigger each time, and this compared to 5 in the last video with Beanades is not all that bad. Now as the Wall of Flesh goes down, the world enters hard mode, and I will probably do an episode of Drunk Seed before I do the Summoner pre-hard mode no-hits, but you never know. And I will, again, try to get the problem with OBS cutting out the bottom of my screen fixed, because especially for Wall of Flesh fights, it's very confusing for the viewer. So anyway, with that, I will see you later. Bye.